I cannot believe I couldn't find anything related to how to set up the FMOD API in a YouTube video. I'm going to show you that. This is targeted to Microsoft users. I'll do another tutorial for everyone that uses macOS. Let's do it.
Or we'll compile this.
So we start out by going into the FMOD download page, and we'll just sign in. And if you're not already signed, just register and you'll have you'll be able to get into this web page. Then go to FMOD engine, select your version. So what I have here, I have FMOD Studio 2.02.12. Okay, so let's download that version. Just click on Windows, download, and download it wherever you want. I'm going to download that here. At least for me, it already exists. So do you want to replace it? No, I'll just change its name. Installer 2. Cool. Let's save it. Okay, next thing, it's open your Visual Studio. I'm going to use the Visual Studio 2022, and I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to search here in templates for C++ console app. Next, choose my desired location. For instance, I have a folder called C++, and in that folder I will have my project. I don't know, tutorial, FMOD, FMOD setup. Okay, let's create that. Perfect. I'm just going to delete all of this stuff, and we're going to press F5. And here's our executable. The next thing you're going to do is go into the Solution Explorer, click, right click, and go to Open Folder in File Explorer. Let's go there. And here we have our folder, like for our project. So I'll just leave that there, maybe here. And we will open another File Explorer window with Windows button E. And we'll search for something called downloads, like the folder where we downloaded the fmod.exe, and that will be, oh snap, there are a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let's use that. Click on next. I agree, and uncheck all of these checkboxes. We just want this. Click on next and click on browse. Then go to the folder where your project is located, which is in here. Okay, cool. We're going to create that and make a new folder called FMOD API. Cool. Okay. Yeah, install it. Perfect. click finish. Perfect. So we will have here our FMOD API, FMOD Studio API windows. Okay. Okay, inside that folder, the only two things I care about are these two folders called Core and Studio. These two folders have the .h files along with .lib libraries, basically. So I'm going to just copy all of this too. Oh, sorry, Control X, cut, delete all of this stuff. Well, not delete, just go into the your created folder, FMOD API. We'll paste those here. We'll delete the other files, and we'll just have. I'll also delete this example folders that has lots of examples. Well, maybe you cannot delete it. You can just leave it there. I'll leave it there. Okay, cool, nice. All right. After doing all of that, let's go back to our Visual Studio project. Go into right-click here, Tutorial FMOD Setup, and go into Properties. Here we will look for the C/C++ configuration property. Just click in this button. You either click it here in general or click it here. It's the same thing. Then here we're going to look for additional include directories. And we'll click edit. We will then open, we'll search for our FMOD API folder. And we will first start with the core library, include, and select folder. Okay. We're going to do the same for the next one. FMOD API. Now it's a studio. Now it's studio. Yeah. Include files. And instead of just writing all of this, we can delete this part of the file, go into macros, and add a macro called project. Project. Here. Insert. Here. And there. It will be the same. Okay, cool. Is everything good? Yeah, perfect. So, after doing this, we're gonna click OK and apply. Now, if we go here and include the fmod.hpp file, everything will be alright. We can include that. Okay. How about we create a variable with an fmod object? It will be alright. Cool. But how about we also set up system, sorry, it's fmod system p system no pointer. It will still work, but when we press F5, it will still work. But when, for instance, we try to use something like result equals fmod system create, and for instance we will create this system, that won't work at all. Okay, so we still need to do something more. So let's go back to including more of our libraries and all that stuff. we'll go here into tutorial FMOD setup, right click it, and go to properties. Here in properties, instead of going to C/C++, we'll go into linker and just click here in where it says linker, and you will have an option called additional library directories. We're going to modify this part by adding the library directories, but we will need to do that depending on the platform we're doing our application for. So for instance, I will start with Windows 32, additional library directories, edit, go into the FMOD API, select, we'll start with Studio, libraries, x86, select folder. We'll do the same thing for the other part of the API, which is the core API, Studio core, select folder, perfect. And we will do the same as we did before, project dir, project dir. Project here. Okay, cool. x86 libraries added. Now we'll go for the x64. We'll click yes. We'll do the same. We'll start with Studio. Select folder. Perfect. That was a Studio. This will be core 8064. Cool. All right, everything it's going great. Oh, except for the project here. Nice. We'll click OK and we'll click apply. Now, the next thing we'll do is kind of similar, but instead of telling Visual Studio where to find the directories, we're telling Visual Studio which files he's looking for. So instead of linker in general, now go to input and change the platform to all platforms and search for additional dependencies. Here is the place where we're going to add the names of the libraries. Yeah. So let's click OK. And we will have to do separate things for debug and release. So I'll start with debug. Click. We can add files. So what we need to do is right click, open folder in File Explorer, FMOD API, go to Studio. Yeah, we'll start with the Studio. Come back to Visual Studio, Properties, Linker Input, Debug. Okay, now edit. For the debug libraries, you will choose, it doesn't matter which architecture, just click in whatever you like best. Into debug, we'll choose libraries that will have this L here. So I'll copy that, .lib. I'm going to do the same for the core API. Okay. Yeah. Just click. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Release. Here. Again, first studio. It doesn't matter which one. And instead of selecting the file with an L, we'll select the other one. .lib. Core. .lib. Perfect. Then we'll click apply. We'll have debug and release. All right, everything's fine. We'll click OK. The thing here is that it will still have problems that says that this one is in Spanish, but we have a problem with the .dll files. The thing to do that is the way to include those DLL files is pretty straightforward. You just need to copy, go to x64, and in debug, paste it. Paste those DLLs. And you will also need to go back to do the same thing, but for the FMOD Studio into x64 debug. Okay. And after that, let's try it. There's an error still, which means that I still need to copy more libraries. Those were from the 64. Let's try with the core. Oh, sorry. Tutorial mod setup. Yeah. Debug. Replace. Now, everything worked because I copied the x64 DLLs to our kind of like this file, like this folder, x64, debug, and that worked. That is pretty straightforward. There is a better way to do this, which I will show you in a minute. All right, we're going to go back to our properties here in tutorial FMOD setup, properties, and instead of going to the linker option, we'll go to build events. This was previously in release. We will change it to all configurations. And here in build events, we'll select post build event. We'll go here in the command line and we will add a kind of a script. If that's how I will call this. Go here. I will leave those scripts in the description of this video. And the only thing we're saying here is that copy the .dll files to the output directory. So remember that you need to change this file path. For instance, if the libs, the .lib files, are located in this x64, fmod.dll and fmodl.dll, this file path should be the same as this one. So in this case, I'm just going to delete this part, delete this part, and whoops, oh yeah. And it will be the same as this file path, FMOD API core lib, FMOD, FMOD API core lib, yeah, FMOD API core lib x64. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Just click OK. I'll make sure that everything is all right. Yeah. Okay. Let's click on apply and OK. And then press F5. Suddenly it works. And if you close this and go into the file explorer of your project file, you click on x64, then debug, you will find that your libraries were copied here. So everything worked perfect now. The next thing is to basically just play a sound with the FMOD library. And here I have a script that I will copy here, which is pretty much what Guy Sundberg does in its presentation. So I'll just copy this and press Ctrl B. Make sure it succeeded. Finally, press F5. And now it works. I'll close it. The only thing that you will have to change is the file path of your chosen sound. For instance, if I want to change that sound, I'll probably go to my sound library, and probably go here, properties. Okay. Press F5.
Oh, I'm feeling bad.
And yeah, that's basically how you set up the FMOD API in Visual Studio. A little disclaimer, I'm not a programmer, but I really like audio programming, so just don't bully me, please. Oh, and also another quick disclaimer, this tutorial could not be made without the help of two different resources I found on the internet. The first one is from Cody Clapper. I'll put his, I think it's personal site in the description of this video, and also thanks of course to Guy Sundberg for that talk. I also have a Medium article that if you want to check that out, and if you're more of a a learner that likes to read documentation or articles, you can basically learn all of this that I've shown in the video in that article in Medium. Thanks a lot for watching the video, and I hope you're fine. And if you have like any question, please just put those in the comments. So see you guys.